Hello, my dear students. I welcome you all to Startup Academy, India's exclusive coaching for ISS examination. And we are on to the next part of our series of solving the PYQs of 2026 ISS Statistics Paper 1. As you already know that we are taking it very slow so that you can also solve it with me. Those who have just started the preparation or those who have prepared for it and still couldn't solve some of the questions, all of you will be benefited from the series, so you can do it slowly at my pace regarding the videos and see what concepts are applied on the topics and how they are applied, and then you can solve it by your own one more time so that these concepts are clear, very clear with all of you, and you can further solve these kind of questions in the upcoming examination. So today the last part of statistics paper 1 is being taken. We are again taking series A and we'll be concluding with questions number 46 to 60. So we can start with it now. Let us begin with question number 46. Now the first question, which is question number 46, is there on the screen. I hope that you all can see. So question number 46. Now, I would like to tell you that from question number 46 to 60, all are numerical analysis question. And from question number 40 to question number 60, 20 questions were of numerical analysis. We took 5 of them in the previous series, part of the series. And today we'll be taking the rest of them. So, today we are starting with question number 46. The question number 46 states that the third dividend difference of the function x cube minus 2x with arguments 2, 4, 9 and 10 is. So first of all we should know what is the dividend difference and how do we calculate it. Everything I have explained you in very detail in the numerical analysis portion that we have covered on YouTube as well as on our courses. So you can watch that video to clear your doubts regarding the topic, and we'll be directly doing it. I'm not explaining you the concept behind it, I'll directly be applying it. If you don't know the concept, then go back to that video, see it and practice it, and then come back to this one so that you can understand it. And we have done this question many number of times in the revision series as well as the course series, and this question, just by seeing it I can answer it. The answer is option number A, 1, because we have practiced this particular question many number of times and it is also repetition of your PYQ. So that is also very important. Many times numerical analysis question repeat themselves in the coming examinations. So the practice of the PYQ is very important for this series. Question number 46 have given us the function fx is equals to x cube minus 2x. So we will be making a difference table. Suppose we are taking the values of x, fx, and we will be taking difference. We have to take the third difference, so we will be taking the till the third difference. Delta square fx and delta cube fx. This we will be considering. Okay. Now the values of x are 2, 4, 9 and 10, and the value of fx, we have to put this into 2 into x cube minus 2x, then we will get the value of fx. So it will be 4, 4 when kept there, 64 minus 8 will be 56, it will be 980 and 711. Now the formula for dividend difference is, we will subtract 56 minus 4 upon 4 minus 2. This will be the first difference. The second difference will be 711 minus 56 upon 9 minus 4, which will give us 131. Here it will give us 52 upon 2 will be 26, and here 980 minus 711 upon 10 minus 9. So it will be 269. This is the first difference. Now calculating the second difference, we will be calculating it like this: 131 minus 26 upon 9 minus 2, and the second will be, this will be your 15, and 269 minus 131 upon 10 minus 4. This will give us the value 13823, and the final difference would be 23 minus 15 upon 10 minus 2. This will be 1. So our final answer, which is the third difference of this dividend question, is 1, which is our option number A. And hence question number 46 has the answer option number A. Now moving forward with question number 47. Question number 47 is again your PYQ, and this is direct implementation of a theorem that we have done many number of times. Mu of fx gx is nothing but equal to mu fx delta gx plus delta fx mu gx. This is the formula, and it has option number C as your answer. But in the provided series, in the provided answer key, the provisional answer key that has been provided by the UPSC, this question they have given the answer as option number B, which is wrong. This is wrong. The answer is option number C. So there might be any discrepancy. Whenever they will be releasing their final answer key, they might change this answer. So it has the correct answer option number C, which is of 47 of series A. Now moving forward with another question, question number 48. This is the question of Picard's method, and we have done Picard's method many number of times. We have done it in revision as well. So exactly this question also has been done in the Picard's method. First of all, what is the formula for Picard's method? If we calculate the formula for Picard's method, yn plus 1 is equals to y naught plus integration x naught x f x n y n dx. This is the formula for Picard's method. Now they have given us the value of dy by dx equal to 1 plus x plus y, and they have given us the value of y naught as 1 and x naught as 0. And they have asked us to calculate with second iterate of Picard's method. For the first iterate, let us consider the method. For first iterate, we have to calculate y1, which will be equal to y naught, which is 1, plus integration over x naught, which is 0 to x, f x and y n. So it will be 1 plus x plus yn. Yn has the value, y naught has the value as 1. So 1. Instead of writing 1 here, I may write this as 2 plus x dx. And on solving this, we will be getting the value 1 plus 2x plus x square by 2. This is the first iterate. Now moving towards the second iterate, because we have to calculate the second iterate. So we have to calculate here y1 has the value 1 plus 2x plus x square by 2. Okay. Now the second iterate has the formula y2 is equals to y naught, which is 1, plus integration from 0 to x 1 plus x plus y. Now y1 has this formula, so we will be writing y as 1 plus 2x plus x square by 2 dx. Now in place of this, we can write it as 2 plus 3x. So we are writing it as 2 plus 3x plus x square by 2 dx. On solving this, we will be getting the second iterate as 1 plus 2x plus 3x square by 2 plus x cube by 6. Now you all can see the answer matches exactly with our option number C, and hence option number C is the correct option for this Picard's method question. I hope that it is clear with all of you. It was very easy, just the implementation of the formula of Picard's method. Now moving towards the next question, which is our question number 49. It is also very easy question. Those who have done numerical analysis with us, they might have find the numerical analysis portion very easy. So it is directly implementation of the formula. What is the formula is, the question says that we have to find the value of delta raised to the power 4 x minus 1, 1 minus 2x, 1 minus 3x and 1 minus 4x. The formula for delta n raised to the power yn is equals to a n factorial h raised to the power n. Now h, they have given that h is equals to 1, difference of 1. Now a n we will be calculating, and n factorial, n is this, so it is 4 factorial. N factorial is equals to 4 factorial, and 4 factorial we all know has the formula 4 into 3 into 2 into 1. So 6 4s are 24 is the n factorial. Now how do we calculate a raised to the power n? A raised to the power n is calculated as the multiplication of all the x terms here. So x into minus 2x into minus 3x into minus 4x. When we multiply all of them, 4, 3, 2, it will be 24 only with a minus sign. So minus 24 x raised to the power 4, since a raised to the power n. So when we compare this, a raised to the power n is equals to nothing but minus 24. Now we have to put it in the formula. By putting all the values in the formula, we will be getting delta n yn is equals to a raised to the power n, which is minus 24, n factorial is 24, and h raised to the power n, which is 1 raised to the power 4, is 1 only. So 24 minus 24 into 24 will give us minus 576 as your answer, which is option number D. D is the correct option for this question. If you know this trick, then only you can solve this, and we have done this in the explanation of the numerical analysis portion as well, and in the implementation in the revision series also we have done this kind of question, and this is also one of the PYQs. So we have done it in very detail in our series. Those who have done the series might have find it very useful in the examination. Now doing question number 50, which is Simpson's 1/3 rule. Direct implementation of Simpson's 1/3 rule. I am writing the formula and then we will be putting it. The formula for Simpson's 1/3 rule is integration from x to xn f, or we can write it yn, is equals to, now it has the formula h by 3 y0 plus yn plus 2 into all the even terms plus 4 into all the odd terms, addition of all the odd terms in between the first and the last term. Then we can see here h is nothing but equal to 1 by 4, and the even and odd terms, this is f0, y0, y1, y2, y3, y4. So our formula reduces to fx y is equals integration x xn yn is equals to h, which is 1 by 4 into 3, 1 by 12 into y0 plus yn. Y0 is the first term and yn is the last term. So 1 plus 1 by 2 plus 2 into all the even terms. Even term is only one, which is half, so it will be 2 by 3 plus 4 into all the odd terms. Odd terms are 2, 4 by 5 and 4 by 7. So 4 by 5 plus 4 by 7. So it will be 1 by 12 into 3 by 2 plus 4 by 3 plus, if we multiply it as 16 7 into 12 by 35. 16 into 12 will be 192. This is the final answer, or this is the answer. They have given this as A. A is equals to this, and what they have asked us to calculate 2520 of A. So if we multiply 2520 on both sides, then we will be getting 2520 upon 12 into 3 by 2 plus 4 by 3 plus 192 by 35. If we divide it by 12, 12 it get cancelled, the denominator and the numerator will get cancelled, and we will be left with 210 multiply. Now we can individually multiply 210 and get the final answer. I am writing the final answer that you will be getting. It will be 1747, which is our option number C. You can calculate this. My calculation differs with your calculation, so I am leaving this topic of calculating to you. You can calculate this, and I am telling you the final answer, which will come out to be option number C, 1747. So this completes your question number 50. Now moving towards another question. Question number 51. Question number 51 has given us the values of f1 to f5, and they have asked us to calculate the integration from 1 to 5 fx of trapezoidal rule. Now trapezoidal rule has the formula. If we have to calculate x0 till xn fx dx, then it has the formula h by 2, the sum of first and the last term, plus 2 into all the terms in between, 1 plus 2 and so on till yn minus 1. Just putting the values in the formula, you can see the h, which is the fi's. H is only 1, so h we are taking here as 1 to 5 fx dx is equals to 1 upon 2. First term is 1 and the last term is 0.20 plus 2 into all the terms in between. Let us take in another line. 2 into 0.5 plus 0.3 plus 0.25. Okay. On solving this, we will be getting 0.6 plus 1.05, and your final answer will be 1.65, which is our option number C in this case. So question number 5 is the direct implementation of our trapezoidal rule. So option number C is the correct answer for this. Now question number 52, which is just below this question number 51, is again asking for Simpson's rule, and if you see this clearly, then question number 51 has exactly the same values as question number 52. You just have to apply a different formula. So here Simpson's rule, I am not writing it again and again, I am directly solving it. From integration 1 to 5 fx dx, this will be h. H is 1 upon 3. First plus the last plus 2 into the second, 1 which is 0.3 plus 4 into the sum of 0.5 plus 0.25. So this will be 1 by 3, 1.2, 0.6 plus 4 into 0.75. Now I am dividing by 3 first and then we can add. It will be 0.4 plus 0.2 plus 4 into 0.25. This will be 1 0.6 plus 1. This will be 1.60, which is our option number A as your correct option for this question number 52. Okay, now moving towards another question, which is our question number 53. Here they have, this is the direct implementation of a rule that we have done, the global truncation error and the local truncation error. The global truncation error for trapezoidal rule is always minus 1 upon 12 if we are talking about the global for trapezoidal rule. Then it will be minus 1 upon 12 n h cube f double dash epsilon. This is the direct implementation of the error rule that I have made you understand. And we have to do all the rules of trapezoidal, Simpson's 1/3, Simpson's 3/8, and Bedel's rule and everything. So this was the global truncation rule. Many of you would have confused it with the local truncation rule and might have answered option number A or D. But here they have asked global truncation rule. So option number B is the correct answer for this one. Now moving towards another question, which is Euler's method. Question number 54. Here they have given us the values of dy by dx is equals to y minus x upon y plus x, and y naught has the value 1 and y x naught has the value 0, and step size has the value 0.05. We have to apply forward Euler's method to estimate the value of y 0.1. So to calculate y 0.1, first of all we have to calculate y at 0.05. That's the first step. So first step is, before writing the first step, let us write the formula for Euler's method. For Euler's method, Fyn plus 1 is equals to Yn plus d fxn yn into h. This is the formula for calculating the Euler's method. So first step is to calculate yn plus 1, which is y1 is equals to y naught plus h into f x naught y naught. Now putting the values here, y naught has the value 1, h has the value 0.05, and f x naught y naught, if we put it in this, so y 1 minus 0 upon 1 plus 0. So this will be 1.05. y1 we have got. Now moving towards the second step for calculating y2. Before calculating y2, we have to calculate the value of x1. x1 will be x0 plus 0.05, which will be 0.05. So the second step includes y2 is equals to y1 plus h f x1 y1. Now y1 we have calculated 1.05 plus h, which is 0.05 into y minus 1. Now y1 is 1.05 minus x1 0.05 upon y1 plus x1. So this will be equal to 1.05 plus 0.05 into 0.1.0 upon 1.1. And on solving this, you will be getting final answer of y2 equal to 1.09445, something like this, which is almost equal to 1.10. As we can see in the option, nothing related to this, but an approximation of this is given. So approximately this is almost equal to 1.10, which is our option number C. That is your correct answer. And this is also one of the questions that we have done in our series and courses, and also this is the PYQ in the previous year question papers. That also makes it important. Now moving towards another question, which is question number 55. This is important question because here backward Euler question has been asked. Whenever the forward Euler question of this kind is asked, we use the formula modulus of 1 plus h lambda is less than 1. But here backward Euler question has been asked, so we will be using 1 upon modulus 1 minus h lambda is less than 1. This is the formula that is to be used. The important thing here was backward Euler method. So we will be using the lambda value. Now lambda is equals to the value that is given by dy by dx. So it will be minus 8. So here we can put it as 1 upon modulus of 1 plus 8h is less than 1. Okay, for all h greater than 0. So it is, this term is absolutely stable only and only if h is greater than 0. If h is greater than 0, then only this is absolutely stable, otherwise not. So our option number A is the correct option for this question. I hope that it is clear. This was just the concept based question, nothing to do here numerically. Now this is another concept based question, which is our question number 56. Here they have given us the estimate of truncation error in Lagrange interpolation formula is given by. Whenever we are talking about the Lagrange interpolation formula, then our truncation error has the formula x minus x naught, x minus x1, and so on, x minus xn upon n plus 1 factorial into y n plus 1 epsilon. This is the formula. This is direct formula. We don't have to derive it or do anything like that, and not even the numerical has been asked. So this was option number B, the correct one. Now moving towards another question, which is question 57. This is again Euler's formula. Here du by dt has given to us as minus 2t u square, and u naught is 1, t naught is equals to 0. And we have to find the step size, and step size has been given to us as 0.2, and we have to find till 2 step size, because this is when from 0 to 1 it is 0.2, from 0.2 to second it is 0.4. So the first step is again that y1, here it is u1 is equals to u naught plus h into f u naught t naught. U naught has the value 1 plus h has the value 0.2. F u naught t naught is minus 2 into t naught is 0 into u naught is 1 square. So it will be 1 only, because this whole term becomes 0. Now moving towards the second step and the last step of this question, this will be u2 is equals to u1 plus h f u1 t1. Now t1 here will become 0 plus 0.2, which is equals to 0.2. So u2 is equals to u1 is 1 plus h, which is 0.2, minus 2 into t1, which is 0.2, into u1 whole square, which is 1 square. It will be 1 minus 0.04, which is 0.96. Sorry, 0.08. 2 2s are 4, 2s are 8, which is 0.92, which is our option number C as the correct answer. You can check the calculation by doing that on your own, and the final answer that is coming here is option number C. Now moving towards another question. Question number 59. 58 before 59. So 58 question was also an easy question. See, they have given us multiplication of two series. First of all, let us see the series 1. It is 1 plus x square plus x cube and so on. This is series is a geometric series, as you all can see, with difference of x. X is multiplied. So the sum of this geometric series is equals to 1 upon 1 minus r, which is r is equals to x. 1 minus r, which is 1 minus x. Okay. And if we do this, and if we see the series 2, which is 1 minus x plus x square minus x cube plus and so on. Here this is also a geometric series, and here the difference or the power is x minus x. Here the power is minus x, as you all can see. I have multiplied by minus x every term with every term, and then I have got the series. So the sum of the second series will be 1 upon 1 minus r. So it will be 1 upon 1 plus x. Now we have to multiply these two terms. So multiplying these two terms is 1 upon 1 minus x into 1 upon 1 plus x. This will give us 1 upon 1 minus x square. Now clearly seeing this, that this is the sum of the third series, which is also geometric, and its r is equals to r x square, as you all can see the sum. So the series would be 1 plus x square raised to the power 2 plus x square raised to the power 3 and so on. So this will be 1 plus x square plus x raised to the power 4 plus x raised to the power 6 and so on, which matches directly with our option number A, which is 1 plus x square x raised to the power 4 plus x raised to the power 6 and so on. Okay, this was that much simple question. Now moving towards another question. Question number 59. Question number 59 is a bit tricky. It hasn't been asked ever. Before starting the question, I would like you all to know that if we expand this theorem, 1 plus 1 plus delta raised to the power n, it will be nc0 delta raised to the power 0, nc1 delta raised to the power 1, nc2 delta raised to the power 2 and so on up till ncn delta raised to the power n. This series can be expanded like this. Now if we see here and compare it with P, as you can see on the screen and the question paper, so only the difference in P is the NC0 is missing and one of the delta powers is missing. So if we multiply delta with P, then we will be getting what? NC1 delta plus NC2 delta square and so on till NCn delta raised to the power n. Okay, this is nothing but equal to 1 plus delta raised to the power n minus the missing term, which is NC0, or we also can write it as 1 plus delta raised to the power n minus 1, because NC0 is nothing but 1. And here we also can write it as e raised to the power n minus 1. This is delta p. Let us take this as equation number 1. Okay, before taking it as equation number 1, it is also multiplied by, all of this is multiplied by yn, y1, as you all can see outside, y1, y1. So this can be written as yn minus y1 delta p. Okay, or we also can consider this, both these equation as equation number 1. Okay, now moving forward towards the second solution. Now second solution is u has been given to us as y1 plus y2 up till yn. Now if we take delta q here, then it will be delta of y1 plus delta of y2 and so on till delta of yn. And if we open this delta, this will be y1 minus y0 plus y2 minus y1 and so on yn minus 1. Okay, now you all can see that all these terms from 1 and in between get cancelled, and we are only left with yn minus y0. This is delta q. And we also can write it as, in place of doing this will make our method longer. We can write this as y1 plus e y1 plus e square y1 and so on e raised to the power n y1. Okay, we can write it as like q. Now we can take y1 outside and we are left with 1 plus e square and so on e raised to the power n. Now this is again a geometric series, so we can do the sum of geometric series e raised to the power n minus 1 upon e minus 1. Now we all know that 1 plus delta is equals to e, so delta is equals to e minus 1. So we, in place of writing this, we can write it as e raised to the power n minus 1 upon delta into y1 is equals to q. Now in place of this delta, removing it from here and taking it here, we are left with delta q is equals to e raised to the power n minus 1 y1. This is our equation number 2. And if we see here clearly, delta p e raised to the power n minus 1 y1. These are both equal, equation 1 and equation 2. So we can write it as delta q is equals to delta p, right? And we all can write it as p is equals to q. P upon q is equals to 1, which is our final answer, which is our option number A. So this was a bit tricky question and it applied many methods, mostly mathematical method. So it was a bit different than asked in the previous year question papers. Now moving towards our last question of the day, which is question number 60. If we consider question number 60, it is again of the same kind, but here forward Euler method has been asked, and in the previous question backward Euler method was asked. I have told you whenever the forward Euler method has been asked, we will be calculating 1 plus h lambda is less than 1. Lambda can be taken from dy by dx is equals to minus 20y. Now minus 20, this is the value of lambda. So putting it there, it will be 1 minus 20h is less than 1. If we open the modulus, we will be getting minus 1. 1 minus 20h is 1. It will be minus 2, 20h 0, and multiplying by minus sign, the sign reverses, it will be 2, 20h 0, dividing by 20, it will be 1 by 10 h 0 and 0.1 h 0. Now the value which lies between this interval is your final answer. So the value that lies between this interval is option number A, 0.05, which lies between 0 and 0.1. 0.15 is greater, 25 is greater, and 35 is greater. So our option number A is the correct option for this question. So this concludes your series of Statistics Paper 1 2026 PYQ series. And wherever you feel that you have any doubt in any question, we have been taking it very slow from the very beginning till covering all the subjects. And if you feel that this video was useful, you can like the video and you can give us your appreciation in the comment box or on our WhatsApp channel. And this series is beneficial for all of you, those who are preparing for ISS or those who have given this exam as well, to check where your preparation was and how could you improve that in the upcoming future examination. All the best. Thank you.
Welcome to StatUp Academy, India's exclusive coaching for ISS, where statistics meets excellence. StatUp Academy,